You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome back once again to a new episode of the Foreign and Domestic Podcast, where you are, joining the Pepper Brothers, starting with Christopher.
Hello.
Hi.
I am Christopher.
And then we got...
For the record, we usually start with me. Just saying.
We usually...
Yeah.
I mean, are we keeping records on things like that now? What kind of number pusher are you doing? Weren't we just talking about not needing numbers and to numbify?
No, we definitely need numbers.
Yeah, numbers were a pretty big deal.
I am Daniel Peffers, and I am in support of numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to push my pro-number agenda
Pro-number
here on this
and
podcast.
number manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, and then I guess there's me, Maya, and I
Anti-number.
I am not anti-number. I'm anti-number meaning.
She just wants to take everything away from numbers.
All the
Leave them
meaning from
powerless.
numbers need to go away.
They're nothing but letters. They're no different than letters. They
They are very different than letters.
Yeah.
Unless you're using letters as numbers, then they're very similar to...
Well, no,
You see what I'm saying?
math is just as flip-floppity as language is. It's because
It's
there's
similar to
many
language,
mathematical
but-
equations that are said, this is true, this is proof, this is the best. And then people are like, no, it's not.
The best
But it's
is a
numbers.
judgment call. Math doesn't make judgment calls.
But people use numbers in that way, in which they use language ways it's not supposed to be used. Thus, it's like language. Okay, moving on. What is this podcast, and what the hell are we talking about?
We're talking about numbers.
Yeah, it's where Maya talks real fast and pretends she won an argument because she's moving on.
Oh, no. I'm just trying to get I'm trying to get to the intro of the show, and then we can go back to talking about things.
She's bored with the topic.
No, my job here is to try to somewhat keep some semblance of, oh God, I'm going to say it, of order, I guess. Of you guys need an intro and you kind of need an exit because...
Maya is the one that's here to keep us orderly. How do you feel, Chris?
Pretty fucking stoned.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, is...
That's basically the Foreign and Domestic Podcast right there.
Yeah, yep. Okay, there you go. So, moving on. We have this is our third episode, so we've been doing this for a total of 3 days now. Right? No, it's
about as many We Are Libertarians podcasts I did. No, I did about 10 of those.
Oh, really? Just 10? Okay.
Just number dropping here.
Yeah, just number dropping. Yeah. Well, how many podcasts have you been on, Peffers?
Not as many as Maya.
Well, I mean, how many have I been on compared to how many have I actually had and started? And there's too many to name, and let's not talk about me anymore. Moving on, you guys had an exciting day. You guys were in the throes of battle for most of the afternoon, were you not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was trying to slay some stalwart heroes, and Chris over here was on the stalwart hero side.
Yeah. My arcane trickster, that's like a rogue that does magic. I'm basically Aladdin. And, I just cut people up and throw colored sand in their eyes.
Oh, okay. And so who won? Was there a winner?
Yeah, we killed the guy. He was wearing metal armor, and our bard cast heat metal on it, so he spent most of the time just in agony.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that would...
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. Wearing metal armor and it being heated up. So, you would want, okay... Well, in your guys' universe, is mithril, heat, magic? Can you have, enchanted...
Mithril isn't so
steel.
prominent in the Dungeons & Dragons world. I mean, it is there, but that's more of an upper-level thing.
Yeah, we're only level 4.
Oh, so you guys are like nubs.
It was probably
Okay.
like steel. He was a dragon guy, so he can take heat a little better, but he still took a lot of damage.
Still sucked, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it takes 6 minutes to take off his armor, so...
And just for reference, it goes by rounds, and generally combat lasts about 5 or 6 rounds or so, and each round, game-wise, is 6 seconds.
Okay.
Like if you were to translate it to real life,
yeah.
6 seconds would
just
be
enough
one
time
round.
to swing your sword once and maybe move a little.
Oh, yeah, I always forget that. I mean, you guys were playing D&D, right?
Yep, 5th edition.
5th edition. Okay. Any additions or just straight up?
Well, we're playing a module that's part of the Forgotten Realms. People who, let's see, was it?
I'm a
is
huge
Dritz-
Forgotten Realms film.
Yeah, Dritz is from
I've read,
Forgotten
I think,
Realms,
the
yeah.
first 23
Yeah,
books
there's a
of the
lot
Dritz
of-
series.
Forgotten Realms stuff.
Yeah,
Pretty
and then
popular.
on top of that, there's a
So
lot of
what-
popular games from the Forgotten Realms series, like Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale,
Yeah.
Neverwinter Nights.
So where are you guys at in the like on the map and like what town?
I don't
like-
remember what the town's called.
So
It's-
we're playing a module called Horde of the Dragon Queen, and
Gonna
it
kill
takes
us a
place
dragon.
not far from Baldur's Gate, like about 200 miles south of
Okay,
Baldur's Gate.
okay.
You start off in the town of Greenest, and as soon as you show up, the whole town is under attack by dragons, just setting the whole town ablaze.
in a cult that worships them.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Of course,
There's lots of
dragons
cultists.
always have cults.
Yeah.
And I picked this module because I am sick of goblins, and usually these stories start out with goblins.
Oh, goblins are just awful.
And instead, it started off with killing cultists and kobolds, so I felt that would be more fun for me to DM, and that'd be more fun for my players to play.
I think that's
honestly.
what really drug me into the Dritz series is that you were following a drow, a dark elf.
A lesser known
Another-
creature in
and
the larger
in
universe.
the Underdark. You started off for the first like 2 books, 3, 4, 5 maybe books. I can't remember. I read them as the omnibus editions, but they you're on the Underdark for most of it, and you're reading about creatures and talking and all these creatures and all these things you haven't really ever got to dick with. Because usually for top level players to go to the Underdark, you would have to be high, very high level, or just suicidal. Because most people
tough.
don't go from the surface to the Underdark
Yeah.
because the Drow are down there and the
Well-
Grey Elves and
Before they started
Lots
writing
of
the
bad
Dritz
guys.
campaign novels, a lot of the Underdark was fleshed out by normal dwarves and orcs and goblins and whatnot. A lot of it was ripped straight from Tolkien, honestly.
yeah. Well, there's the Underdark and there's the different levels. They started adding in the different levels. Like you'll find Grey dwarves only so far down. You'll find orcs only going so far down, and like they usually like to go into the mountains. They don't like to dig already down. They like caverns and stuff like that. They don't
Pre-existing
stuff,
subterranean structures.
right, or they'll take over stuff, and that's a whole nother problem. But
Or fight dragons over
So
stuff.
you guys trying to play through like a much larger campaign then? Like, is this going to be like a big saga?
It's
The-
supposed to bring us to level 7, I think, for the first book, and there's 2 books to it.
Okay.
And we're 4 right now.
And are you going to stay in? Like, you're going to try to do a long time with these characters, maybe throw other books at it, or
Generally, you try to branch out and do other characters. When you finish a module, you don't necessarily try to take an 11th level character and run it through another set of modules. You probably just re-roll your character for those new modules anyway, because it's going to be a different campaign with different needs.
well, see, no. Wait, okay,
It can be fun bringing a character
Yeah.
from 1 to 30 or
The
whatever.
whole
Well, see,
idea
that's-
is you're supposed to be writing a story together, and you're supposed to use these rules as the accounting so
See,
that you keep your
that's
your
fine for you
ideas
guys, but
kind
like
of in the realm of possibility.
a drow will live for up to maybe 3,000-4,000 years old. That's some known cases.
if they don't
maybe, but-
adventure as often as
Well,
you are as an
Draxel is an
adventurer.
unknown age. Who knows how old he is. Some of the most traveled
but
drows
they
are extremely old.
Yeah, but not many of them are extremely
No,
old.
but no,
they
okay, no,
usually
here's the
don't
thing.
last as
Here's the
long as
thing.
the ones who stay at home.
Well, even the ones that stay home. Well, even like to say the people in Draxel's employ are still
One of the-
1,000 years old, maybe.
Well, one of the general rules of Dungeons and Dragons is your character is not anything special unless you make him something special. You've got to pull him through the trials and tribulations, and you've got to use your own intelligence
Well, right,
to
you
get
got
him.
you got to build a character. So I
Yeah.
want to build a character, but I want this character to
But,
be like I want it to have a more I want to create a character that goes on many different adventures.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
one
what's
of
the
the
point of
cold-
going on
well-
2 adventures? Like, ugh.
Well, one of the cold realities of Dungeons and Dragons is based off the fact that sometimes your characters die and you have to say goodbye.
But I would say...
And you're attached to them emotionally, but
don't know.
adventuring is very dangerous.
no,
If
no,
You're
no,
there's
kind of
not
looking
the
at
risk
it
of
very
death.
coldly.
If
Well,
there's
no,
not the
that's-
risk of character death, then there's not.
That-
Well, that is
no.
one
There's not-
thing. But
There's risk of character death. There's risk, but there's also just a sense of adventure and going on an adventure. An adventure doesn't have to be life or death all of the time. Hell, walking to a dungeon, you might fall off the cliff and die. That's life or death. When we go hiking ourselves in real life, do we not take risks? We could slip and fall off some of those rocks, and it only takes a slip and a fall to crack your damn head open.
yeah,
But the idea is the story isn't supposed to be written yet with Dungeons and Dragons.
You've made a faux pas. You've made a faux pas.
I've made a faux pas.
Yeah, has he not? He just said he said a cold reality of D&D that the game has to be played with character death. And whoa.
well, there is definitely character death. It happens,
It's a part of
but
the game.
No,
I
it
would
can
say
be. It
that,
can.
Have you ever heard any of the modules that Gary Gygax himself came up with? There are traps where you just simply die without a chance at a
those are
saving
very
throw.
special modules. You're supposed to not be attached to your
it's
characters
not,
at all.
It's not just the Tower of Gygax.
Well,
Gary Gygax was notorious.
Yeah,
Well,
and that's what
him.
I'm saying.
That's
But
him, though.
Those
D&D
are
you
ones
don't-
you're supposed to throw characters.
You don't
at.
have
These
to play the
modules
newest version. You
are
don't have
supposed
to
to be
play a
more-
module. You don't have to play any which way. If you wanted to add in stuff that's not necessarily canon, you can do that. It's D&D. It's the realm of fantasy. You can't
I would
say
say
it's
it's
supposed
not
to be
any
anything.
fun with. There's no like risk of your character dying for good.
That's not necessarily true because people that play things like Minecraft, people that play games, because
Well,
D&D
it
is
can
a
be
game.
fun
it's
for some people, but to me, I wouldn't have fun if my
Right.
character
Well, I'm
wouldn't
saying
ever
what
die.
I'm saying is I'm not saying what can be fun for you guys. I'm saying it's a faux pas to say D&D has to be played any one
Well,
way.
it depends on the
and then
objectives of the game.
part
Well,
of
Minecraft
that,
is a very different game from Dungeons and
part
Dragons.
of that your character can die though is it only matters that your character died if you get attached to it though. So I would like
It's not just that. It's
after we're done with
sometimes
this
the ultimate
campaign-
sacrifice has to be made by somebody who comes as a complete surprise.
and that's all well and
that-
good.
that's fine. But no,
but
what
I'm
I'm
not
saying
going
is
to
that
retire this character after this campaign. I will hope to bring it back.
well, like
Just
with
you know,
D&D,
maybe
with-
not right
with
away. We can do
Minecraft.
something else.
With Minecraft, you can play the survival version of Minecraft, and it'd be really difficult. Or you can play just a sandbox mode. And so, in that regard, D&D is the same way. Is it not? Where you, if you wanted to,
I mean, at
if-
that
say
point,
for
you're
me,
just
if
writing
me,
a story, though, right? Just like write a book and sell it or something.
I
No,
mean,
well,
if you don't
no.
have
Why-
conflict
why
in
would-
Dungeons and Dragons and
No,
you
there's
don't
plenty of
have
conflict. There's lost. You can have support characters that you can lose.
Well, you
it's-
can do like a totally role play campaign, but that's kind of like just role playing in
Well, no,
general.
why-
That's
why-
like LARPing, really.
Well, okay, then if that's the case,
LARPing
then
can just be having a
then
tea
why
party.
would Zelda not be more fun? Say if they did Zelda, where when you go play, you have one life. If you get killed in Zelda, that's it. You have to restart
no,
from the
because
very
Zelda's an
beginning.
entirely different game.
Oh,
Zelda's
it's-
a much pressure.
But
I would
it's
say
a
there's a
puzzle
lot less
game.
pressure
but there's a
in
mod.
Zelda.
There's a mod like that for Skyrim, and it is downloaded and it is played, and it is actually a lot of fun.
Skyrim's
Well,
an
to-
even more different
because
game.
yeah,
it's like, well, no,
that was a
hold on, hold on, hold on.
Diablo thing.
Hold
You
on.
had
That's but
what were they called?
Are you guys missing my point here? Is I'm saying is that D&D can. I'm not judging what way's good or bad. I'm not putting any judgment. Okay, no judgment on what's good or bad. It can be played in any way, and the faux pas is saying that it can't be. Is that D&D is truly a game for everyone. Anyone can play it in any way. There's
No,
ways to make
I think
it to
you're
be played for
misusing the
anyone.
word faux pas because
at
the
that-
whole
An
there's
RPG
certain
can
Okay,
be
well
done
then I'm
anyway.
misusing the word faux pas.
You're-
But like I've played some rounds of D&D where there was no death. It was literally just it was an adventure. It was an adventure to go on an adventure to explore a world that someone else created, to explore a map and a world that the dungeon master created. And it wasn't a dungeon. It wasn't dark and gritty and awful and just you're losing characters left and right. And you're always constantly losing.
We're
No,
not
it was
losing characters left and right, but I don't like a dungeon that's all sunshine and rainbows. You know, those are my favorite ones where it's just terrible shit after terrible shit.
That's
slug
awful.
through it, and you just
That's awful.
That's how I
you
run
feel
my.
so
That's how
fucking good at the end of that. And you're
That's
like,
how I like
look,
to run my games. Is I
we
like
thought-
to overpower my player characters and then throw some
there were
really
moments where
haunting
we
shit at them.
thought this is impossible.
Okay.
We're not going to get
Okay.
out of this. But then we turned it around, and we were fucking.
get
There
you.
were
I
times
get
I
you.
was really trying to kill all the
Kick-asses.
player characters.
See,
Yeah,
like-
our fighter almost died today, but because he's half orc, he has this thing where if he takes one hit that brings him down to 0 or lower, he goes to 1, and then he just like fucking took off once he was at 1 health.
Yeah, he booked it.
Yeah.
It was a
That's-
tough fight. We had this humanoid dragon that could hit you twice with his broadsword in a turn,
Lang Dedrosa, Cyan Wrath.
but we heated up his armor, so he was distracted by that and made it harder for him to hit stuff.
What's the books? I've played some stuff. It's not necessarily D&D. It's I played a couple different rounds of it, but you're gonna die at the end. You don't survive. And there's vampire one, there was a werewolf one.
Call of Cthulhu.
No. Oh, good lord, no! I would have said that.
Okay.
It was you could. There was a werewolf one, there was a vampire one, and there's a whole bunch of like deep dark magic, but it's set in like today's time, with a whole bunch of evil, ancient, nasty shit. You're like Hellboy or something, kind of like removed like an underworld. But the whole premise of all of the books is that you die at the end. There is no survival. When you're at the end of the campaign, you will die. It's how long can you survive? So that's kind of basically what you're saying. D&D is fun for
not
how it is for you
necessarily.
guys.
Because
Like,
I don't want to die at the end. I want.
It's not that you're going to die. It's that you need the pain of death in order for your character to really derive a lot
Well,
of
at least
meaning
the
in the
threat
context
of
of
death.
the story.
The character, that's what.
but here's the thing:
makes
what
the
if you're
character
playing a
something worth getting
non-human
attached
character?
to. What?
Not like a non-human character. Like if you really wanted to play a non-human character, not all of them see death
There's a
the same way
million.
we do, and it
There's a
depends.
million
No, I'm a
non-human
high elf.
characters. Yeah.
Well, and it depends on
No,
what
I'm
religion.
a high elf. and
What's
that,
your religion?
I don't worship. I don't have a religion.
You have it like a god.
No,
You
I'm
can-
a guy
you
who
can
ran away
choose
from
to-
a noble family.
You don't
You
have to
can't-
choose a
You
deity
can't really be an
necessarily.
atheist in D&D because the gods are like there. They're
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Greek
yeah.
gods. They're fucking shit up on a daily basis.
Yeah, so like you got.
but you can like kind of spit in their eye and choose to not worship
Oh,
them
that's
at all.
a bad idea, man.
Nah.
It
That's a
depends on how
really bad
powerful
idea.
they are.
No, and that's part of my character.
No, it depends on how
'cause
powerful you want to
He's
get.
from a
know what?
noble high elf family, so they live forever, and he hasn't really had any real pain in his life, but he ran away.
You know what
and so
level
he kind of
equivalent?
dives in head first because death's not really real to him.
You know what level equivalent deities normally have? Like if you were to assign like a player level
Now what?
to it, 20.
Okay.
So it's a these deities generally have attainable levels of power.
Well,
in these
yeah,
realms.
Well,
A lot of times they started out as just like a guy like you or a girl like.
but
yeah,
typical
what?
you just got
adventure.
powerful enough
Yeah,
that
and
no
just
one could
every
kick
day
you
they
out.
got better and better, and then they extended their life to immortality. And,
Well, they're
Put their
up-
soul into a phylactery or
yeah,
something.
and, like
what?
just-
No, I mean some of the
found
gods
a
are
way
from
to
different dimensions.
yeah, some of them are,
They're,
but some of them are just like
Yeah.
heroes that like
There's
became a
well,
part
yeah,
of the
some
world.
of them are.
There's
Yeah,
virtu-
that's what I'm saying.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
virtually every
It's an
style
attainable
of deity.
level of power,
yeah.
though. There's no
But
unbeatable creature
The
in
thing with the
D&D.
deities is that when you have a deity and all of their followers, and you have
Yeah,
some of those things that are
definitely.
reaching outside of the bounds of normal attainable powers, is that they might be character level 20, but like their list of shit they can do is far beyond somebody that just
No,
like
that's-
went
Nah,
from 1
when you
to
get
20.
your hands
Not-
on the epic level hand
Yeah,
guy.
that's kind of what's
Well-
cool about D&D to me is like no power level is unattainable. There's nothing the world can do that you
It's
can,
all-
like,
well, it,
if you want to do it, you could write rules
Yeah.
for it.
and you can
yeah.
like get
There-
to that level.
There exists
and,
a supplement.
So, like,
you
not
can
dying.
you can honestly be the most powerful thing in
okay, resurrection.
the little
then.
world.
Well,
you
like, okay, well, if
made.
I want to play like a drow lick, death does not exist for me.
That would be
not-
like a level
not-
20,
yeah.
25 character.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Actually, liches usually sit at level 12 to 14, somewhere around there.
Okay.
So,
Well, it depends because if it's a lich coming from like a drow
Well, and a
background,
lich-
they're
well,
dark magic.
A lich
lich
is
is
actually a
just
pretty
someone-
common foe.
Yeah, they just-
Well, no, I'm saying,
use
but coming
magic
from
to
a
keep
drow
going.
background, those people are they're a little bit darker than some other people. Starting off from childhood, how they're raised in like drow society and shit. Like that's what I'm saying is that like.
But I mean, it's a very
D&D is so much. It's
liches are pretty common foes in Dungeons and Dragons, and the general way to kill them is they always imbue something called a phylactery, just a vessel that holds their soul, kind of like how a pharaoh would have.
It's like
out, it's,
that guy whose head's in the jar in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
That's his phylactery.
Yeah, no, I know what that is. I think like that's
the
just
robot.
That's like it's from like the Harry Potter universe, the Horcruxes. Horcruxes or whatever.
Yeah, and if you destroy the phylactery, you destroy the lich. The lich dies. The lich doesn't get a chance to.
Well, it depends on the lich.
Unless
if it's during
generally,
the spell plague.
I mean, there are liches with secondary phylacteries.
Or that don't use them.
Generally in the Dungeons and Dragons universe.
Generally, well, that's what I'm saying, though.
I mean,
you're trying to
somebody, right, but there's a lot of
like if you're writing a book.
This is fun. This is fun because you guys are trying to talk about the D&D universe the exact same way you talk about reality. You guys are literally talking about it like, no, it's like this. But generally, on the normal averages, statistics, numbers, it's supposed to be like on the average, people do things this way.
It's all about averages.
I mean,
but
that's
the
why
world
the base called a metagame. It's just the way the game has.
But
evolved.
The world, it's the fantasy game, and that's why you can go back and play any version too, right?
But why call it any game if you're just the rules are nothing?
No, the rules are what you make them.
Yeah,
that is the fantasy element. Is that you
Dungeons and Dragons?
But that's just
is not
like, what you're talking about is just general imagination. Dungeons and Dragons is a specific slice of general imagination.
It has a very specific rule set.
A game is nothing without rules. A game is literally
you guys are playing in Forgotten
rules.
Realms too, and that's when shit got a little screwy and a little bit more fun
Forgotten
too.
Realms is Forgotten Realms is mostly just a
standard.
Story.
It's like your standard D&D.
I mean, there might be monsters that are specific to Forgotten Realms or playable classes or player characters.
How close do you guys are to the spell plague? Because that would be fun to play through. But you would have to have a higher level character, huh?
We're kind of at an undefined time.
Oh, well, that's no fun.
Yeah. Well, I want to do one.
There's things that happen.
I want to do one that's like
there's rules, man. There's rules. Time matters. There is time, and
part of the
spell plague and everything.
Well, this is a basic campaign,
and part of the fun is figuring out the context in which what your
I thought you were
fits
supposed to
into
know
the
it. I thought there's rules.
No, you can
shit,
just
man.
let it go. You can let stuff like that evolve.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to the story you've got to learn.
But there's things that I really like about D&D that are pure D&D to me, you know.
There's also a lot of plot twists coming up in the story. I've been reading ahead because I have to. I'm the DM. But yeah, and also there's plenty of opportunity for me to sneak my own stuff in there. So be wary of that.
Yeah. You can see me shaking in my swashbuckling elven boots.
No. The reason why you guys have survived so far is because I've been giving you guys stuff that Wizards of the Coast has thought that you guys should face. Soon you'll be facing what I think you should face.
Well, you better goddamn level us up then. Because you're already at max difficulty and you're hesitantly...
You guys are at level parity for what you guys are facing.
For what Wizards of the Coast thinks we should face. You have it at max stats.
Yeah? I mean, did you guys...
haven't leveled up in like 3 goddamn months.
I started you guys off at level 3. That's how it works.
Well, you said you were going to make it a level 3 campaign. Anyway.
Yeah, I did.
Wow. Okay, so...
we haven't leveled up like a level 3 campaign.
There's a lot of games out there, though. So you guys... We've talked about actually doing a little segment here for the show of playing a game, like a special extra episode of us playing a game. Not necessarily D&D, because who wants to watch somebody play that? Unless they really like those people.
There was a pretty popular podcast that was just D&D games.
You really, really like those people, and they're really into it and have the setup for it. Let me say, I had an unless there.
You also have to do about 4 hours for a solid D&D podcast, I'd say.
And also, we've got a lot of tools at our disposal that we could actually make some solid graphical representations and what's going on the map and whatnot.
Yeah, well, you guys get on that, and I'll come back to you.
The Roll20 system?
We'll do that here in about
to
6 to 7 months or years. And
I don't know. I feel like people enjoy watching what other people are up to on the internet.
oh no, it
Certainly,
definitely could be.
Who
And we
has
could
4
even
hours
do
for something they don't.
all
It doesn't have
kinds
to
even
be
think
4
about.
hours.
all kinds of stuff for like we could do little caveats where we have like even building that. The building of that would be really cool. Like I'm doing a couple little building Lindsay's working with me doing a couple little building videos where like I'm doing a whole bunch of random crap I'm making, and then we can end up using that later because we're gonna do some cosplaying, D&D cosplaying one day in the mountains because we're gonna do that. I'm gonna make us the weapons. I'm gonna hand make us our actual weapons.
Oh, you're talking about LARPing.
Yeah, that's not D&D.
No.
I know D&D is whatever the fuck you want it to be, but that's not D&D.
I want to cosplay I want to no. I want to create characters. Like you guys we all create our characters, and I literally build everything you want your character to have. And then as we go, and as we play the game that we record, we level up our gear, and I will actually modify all the metal swords or stabs or anything else. Like, would that not be fun?
Bucky, a Baptist preacher who asks everybody if they've been saved and refuses to fight.
I could make something really cool for that. What would you go with? I got to be able to make this shit,
guy
though.
wearing a hoodie and jeans getting high while he watches two dudes. Sorry.
Dude is unisex.
Dude.
And if
True.
anybody says, when people get offended by
what?
dude, it's like, you know what? Language
Chris,
is organic.
were we not-
If people are going to be pissy about me using dude and they think that it's offensive for me to use dude to them, it's like, okay, well, then you want to deny me my culture and deny me my own voice?
And
well,
Chris,
then fuck you, man.
We were
I'll use
raised to
dude.
believe that I'm a dude, he's a dude,
That's
she's a
true.
dude, because we're all dudes.
Exactly.
That's-
That's ingrained into my head.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
Okay.
one of the
Well, I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, guys
No.
is like, you know what? Gals is a dumb sound. Like I do not like saying gals. Like that.
It
gals.
sounds very Midwestern, doesn't
Yes, and it kind of sounds like I'm talking to like animals, like cows, gals.
It does
Guys is just guys. Hey guys, what's up? Not,
Like-
hey
it? It's
gals.
almost like
a
you're
gal
saying
is
a
a
gaggle, you
Or-
know?
or
gal
like-
is a female ghoul.
guys and gals. Like ghoul. Oh yeah. Or like
yeah,
okay,
you got
and then
the
what do you
ghoul
say?
and the gal.
What do you say? Okay, what is the equivalent to dude?
I mean, technically,
When
there
you-
is
when you're-
That
a
is what I hear.
yeah, there's
be
a
as-
feminized
Dudette, okay.
version of dude, which is dudette. But I felt
Well, maybe you have a
that
stutter. You're not saying that shit.
No.
what?
Well, you have a stutter. You're
I
not saying do
definitely
that.
approve
Yeah,
of dude
dudette.
as a gender neutral term.
Yeah, nah, dude just
No, what-
rolls off the tongue. You can call
My
anybody a
opinion
dude.
is that why do you have to gender my speech? If someone says I'm offended when you use dude, why are you gendering the words I'm using? I am not gendering the word dude. Why are you changing my
Well,
words
that's-
in my mouth?
everyone has their own very specific definition for every word they use.
But there's something on top of things. There's inflection and context, is there not, when we have language?
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
if you
it's-
say dude to me in a certain way, I'm going to know it. I'm going to come over there and fucking knock your head off. But, like, you probably will never say it that way. Like, I don't think you can even use that tone. But, like,
Oh, yeah.
you can use toned. It's
I
like,
can't even fathom it right now.
yeah. But, like, no, like, there's ways to use words. So if
Yeah.
you can use, like, you could, hypothetically, use dude in a very offensive way towards me. You could. You could conceive it, right?
I suppose.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like when someone says, "Hey guys," and like you could, the tone, the sarcasm, and then coming from the particular person, but that's all contextual. So
Yeah,
like
just kind of lingering
just
on it.
saying
No, I
that
got you.
dude means something when someone's saying it. Well, maybe it's because I like it. Maybe I actually do have trouble saying certain words, and I get tripped up by certain sounds coming out of my mouth because I talk really fast, and so I can't slow down. Like I'm high as shit. Since you guys have been here, I've taken 7 dabs. So like, when people get on me for speech and they worry about it, and the fact that people even worry that they might offend me is troubling sometimes. That the fact that people have to apologize for the fact that they're apologizing for something that's not their fault. That we gendered language. Like language was gendered, and the fact that it's a failure of our current English language that we only have 2 genders and we gender everything because it hasn't always been that way. Not all language is that way, and it's just silly. I hate language. Moving on.
No, that led to a pretty solid Maya rant. I'm glad it happened.
Yeah. Rants, you know.
It's part of the show.
Yeah. Get used to those. And not understand.
No, if we didn't want Maya rants, then we wouldn't have Maya.
Yeah, we do
that's
this
pretty much.
podcast at my apartment and tell you we're totally going to do it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
We'd
just
send
get
it to
stoned
Spangle.
and there'd be a lot of dead air.
Yeah.
There
would be.
We might start watching The Simpsons in the middle of it.
Oh,
Speaking
shit, we're
of
still
which-
recording.
When's that pizza
Today
getting-
is
No way that's the shrimp.
Today is April 1st. And so for anyone out there, why that is important is because Rick and Morty,
You're not
Yeah.
supposed to say the date for the lag time for the release.
Yeah, I don't-
Otherwise,
I
they
don't
know
care
how
at
the
this
Hollywood
point.
magic works.
you know what? I have no idea when Spangle Bear is going to get this thing posted exactly. So like,
As long as we don't say it in the other 6 we're shooting tonight, it'll be fine.
Yeah. No, we do not.
Or at
batch
least we
record.
need to do it.
Not batch record. We are not batch recorders. So,
So just make sure to remember the next episode. It's 7 days after.
Yeah.
yeah. But Rick and Morty, there was a whole new episode, a full episode out tonight of Rick. By the way, they this thing.
Hey, what the fuck
What
are
the
you doing?
fuck?
I'm gonna
So,
go
is it
back
time
and
for
edit
the
that out.
is it
but
time
it
for
is
the
time.
smoke break?
It is time for the smoke break.
Okay. So let's shut the fuck up about the spoilers. And
So a new thing we're gonna do is because I can't make it more than a half hour of talking without wanting to smoke more weed and a cigarette. So that is what we're going to take a break through halfway through the show, and we're going to end up recording this. So if you're watching this, what happens next is going to happen on YouTube and probably Facebook and other places on video. And we'll maybe talk about it, but it's not going to be super important. And you'll probably get to see that before you get to hear this. So have fun. We will be back in a very quick moment, and don't miss us.
It'll be really quick for the audience.
And one day when we have like sponsors and stuff, there'll be commercials coming up. And then also very
man,
soon,
you
there'll be
are
something going
really
to say.
selling this,
You're
Maya.
a bummer.
Yeah, I suck. I'm sorry.
We're gonna have to cut off the last 30 seconds of that.
And welcome back. For you, it was literally just no time at all. For us, it was like, I don't know, like a half hour. We went and
It was
shot
a
the little
journey,
video, the little smoke
man.
break video. Then we went and
To
hit some
get some
Pokestops.
Pokestops.
Somebody
Saw
got
a
pulled
cop,
over,
Yeah.
like right outside my house.
Yeah,
Like,
someone got oppressed outside the Axton house.
the road pirate like stole from somebody right as we were coming back, and holy shit, that last hit I just took's kicking in. So
I caught a ponyta.
you caught a ponyta?
Yeah, while we were walking past
I
the
got
cops.
a sunstone.
I learned about sunstones and how much more grindy the game got.
Yeah,
okay.
you need a sunstone to get Bell Awesome.
No, rest assured, Pokemon Go is very grindy.
It's less grindy, though, I would say. The sunstone.
Have you seen how much XP you need to get to level 40?
But it was always that grindy. Now you get XP faster, though, is what
I
I'm
don't think I
saying.
even like broke past like level 15.
Oh,
Wait, no,
level
I
20
think, I
is
think
where the
we hit
game
20s.
really
I
starts.
think, no, we hit 20s. We did hit 20s. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Level 25 is really where the game starts to sink
That's
in.
what you say about literally every tier of levels you get to.
Yeah.
No, level 10. That's when
It's
the game.
because it changes, when most of the people move on to a new level tier, that's when the game really begins.
Wait, what? Okay,
Yeah.
well, okay, moving on. You know what I want to play? I want to play World of Tanks, man. That is my jam, and I haven't played it since I've been here, and that makes me hyper sad. The internet here is literally so much crap. I can't play my favorite game.
Yeah, you get that in Denver. It's not a perfect city. It's just a really good one.
Yeah, it's trying to
a
change.
city
but
on a hill, if you will.
Yeah.
Particularly where
We're
I'm
lucky
at
we have
is
cell
the
phone
extra,
signal,
extra
honestly.
garbage. But World of Tanks, that's a game. That's
When
my
I first
jam.
moved out here to Commerce City, I had shit for cell phone signal.
I don't have a cell phone, so I don't know about all of that.
Yeah, you guys have better cell phone signal here than I did over in Commerce City.
But
Let me-
AT&T, I think, is talking about putting a tower on the building right next door there.
Oh, okay.
That'd be kind of cool. I'd have a tower. I shouldn't say that on here, but I'm going to say it anyways. you might know a little bit about electronics, and your roommate knows a little bit about electronics, and you're kind of an engineer, right? So
Are you asking if we're going to pirate the signal from the tower?
Did you refer to me as an engineer? Because
Yes.
I assure you I learned just about nothing in engineering school.
But okay, but would you say you have like an engineer's mindset? Are you an engineer at heart?
I feel like if I was, I would have done better in school, so probably not.
Well,
I didn't even like
how
get
well you
anything
do
going.
in school is not how if you're an engineer or
Right,
not.
but I was completely lost the entire time.
Well, I was
And
trying
there
to
were
give you.
other
You
people-
could have gone with it. You could have just gone with it. But instead, you had to be like, "No, I actually do suck. Like I am nothing."
I didn't say I was nothing. I'm just not an engineer, and it was a very expensive lesson. So I should learn from it.
Do you think you could help us with pirating cell signal and screwing with government loopholes and backdoors?
Yeah.
I would
that's-
say absolutely not.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
that's the kind of shit where if you get caught,
Like if I was good at that, I probably could have worked something together at least the first year
Yeah.
at engineering school.
let me put it
Nah.
to you this way: if I was good at that, I'd be in prison.
If
Well,
I was,
I mean, like,
no, if
well,
I was good at
what?
that, I'd still be playing
It's
Zelda.
too early in this podcast's career for me to start talking about some of the shit I've done. So we're gonna move on from talking about doing some. I don't know what. I am a big fan of pirate radio. If there's a pirate radio and anyone knows of in Denver, Colorado, I am down for doing some pirate radio
Looking
content.
for your kid Charlemagne, huh?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Malcolm in the Middle. You ever catch that episode where Hal turned out to be
I
Kid
think-
Charlemagne, pirate radio?
Like, I think a lot of
DJ.
people liked Malcolm in the Middle, but you might be the only person I know who could reference specific episodes.
You know how many times I've watched Malcolm in the Middle on like Netflix?
More than-
so like
more
recently,
than any other person in the world.
That's
maybe
disturbing.
it's possible.
That's disturbing.
I mean,
If
it's pretty
3
funny.
or 4, then it's more than
Did
any
you not
person in
relate
the
to
world,
that
I
TV
think.
show? Who did not relate to that TV
There's
show?
some pretty good lines. Bryan Cranston, always a delight.
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
he's doing, but
Brian,
that
the motherfucker
show made me
Cranston.
cringe too often, so I didn't like it.
it is a little cringy.
No,
It
no,
is.
a little. No, that was the epitome of cringe. Like the amount of bad,
No.
stupid
If
crap.
you grew up in the
It
Midwest,
wasn't
you
the
could
4th
relate
season
to
of The Office.
You could relate to
That, I can
Malcolm in the
relate to
Middle.
having my fingers cut off. It's not something I want to keep relating to. So, like, just because it is relatable doesn't mean it should be related to, or you would want
it makes you
to
feel
enjoyable
heard.
to
You
relate
gotta
to.
explore the pain inside yourself, though. That's what art's all about.
Art's about duality.
Yeah. Exploring the pain I got from that results in like rage and holes in walls and me
Well,
bleeding.
maybe not explore getting your fingers cut off,
It-
but
it res-
explore,
it
explore
results-
Malcolm in the Middle and
it
Bryan
results in me
Cranston's
going
wonderfulness.
downstairs and going to use my chop saw, my nice, beautiful $700 chop saw, and then
Speaking of
getting
chop
scared when
saws.
it turns on and curling up into a little ball and crying on the floor. Yeah, no, that's okay.
So yeah.
PTSD.
Speaking of segues,
So your migraine problem. You've been a little bitch this past week and unable to
fuck
record
you.
a goddamn thing. You haven't been able to post on social media. You haven't been able to help us write an article.
We've got one lamp going in this room with green tape around it.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a cheap, shitty desk lamp that has like the little springy things on it, and I taped a CD, like those CD packs that have like 100 CDs in a pack.
Yeah,
that's
spindle.
that little that's the plastic piece that goes on top of it. So I
the-
cut out the top, and then I taped it on there with green tape all the way around the plastic, so it looks like one of those old like desk lamps that have like the green glass, Does it not? It has the same kind of, motif, right?
Almost exactly, Maya. Have you thought about putting this on Etsy?
I have, but I love lamp. No, that's the lamp I used
Maya's
as a
custom
mic holder.
artwork, lamp artwork.
I can stick this lamp. I can spin that around, and the cord up top unopens, and I can stick the mic in there. Uses a mic stand.
Maya, if you had an Etsy, it would do very well here.
I have one,
It-
and I was selling.
You should push it more because it'll
Emily
do
and I were
very well
making
here.
my parents and I we all bought a giant Arrowhead collection a number of years ago, like an official like really nice Arrowhead collection. I think
Oh,
it was like
okay.
something like 6,000 pieces. Had like hatchets and hand tools and stuff, and we were making necklaces out of them. And I was making necklaces out of them, and Emily was making. Nobody wanted to buy them. And then we were
Aw.
making like little braided stuff for like trans pride and pan pride and everything else. And because it wasn't cheap junk from China, nobody wanted to buy it.
Aw.
No, I've tried
What
to sell.
about making hat pins? Because those are very popular out here.
I can't process the metal and stamp out hat pins.
You
man.
don't have to do it yourself. You just have to send the designs to somebody who can and put in an order of 50
like
and
if
sell
I
50
like
of them.
I don't
Do runs of
if
50.
I'm not making it or working with someone directly like in their shop or something to make it, I don't really want to sell it like on my Etsy because like
Well, then make it
if-
yourself.
Yeah,
I'm sure
no,
you can figure out.
no,
figure it out.
I know how to make
She just
hat
said
pins.
she couldn't.
I can't.
Here.
There's way too many barriers to being
Yeah,
able
the
to do
logistics are holding.
that. They're-
make her
Oh,
skittish.
stoners do that all the time out here. I'm sure you can figure it out.
No, I have, and
It
it's
sounds
it's,
like you
it's
have
out of
to-
my reach.
You would have to invest in some machinery for that, right? It would be, and it wouldn't be cheap.
Well, no, and I'd have to be able to reliably either have an intense amount of energy used to create an intense amount of pressure for stamping, or use heat, or use cutting. So I'd have to have an advanced type of machine to cut it out. I'd have to have an advanced sort of like heavy duty machine that requires a lot of like 3-phase power to press it, and like cut it out or something, or I'd have to use heat, and then I'd have to exhaust the heat. And while
This
considering,
week on how it's made.
yeah, I mean that's you know, I mean, like I said, I used to work as a millwright, man. So like, you know, putting the pedal to the metal is kind of what I did in the industrial sense. And so like the process of getting something done, it's way
I don't
harder.
know how
It's-
hat pins are made.
Oh no, it's way harder to do everything you think. Like everything is so very hard and complex.
I just know that you could
that's
place an order
literally
with
the
somebody.
only thing I know about life. That's
yeah.
the one thing I've learned.
I just
Like,
know.
okay,
I
everything
just
is
know you
hard.
could make a design. You could send it off to somebody who could turn it into a very nice.
You
hat
can,
pin.
you can.
And then if you know how to sell it, then
But
you can just
what you
push
have
it
to do to get that done is either
audience.
make a deal to make little to no profit yourself, or you have to have the capital to buy a batch of them
No, the
and then
standard-
resell themselves.
Most manufacturers will sell it to you at a price where you could double it and make a reasonable markup.
I
on
don't
it.
want to make a profit off
If
something.
you can
I want to
sell a
make
bunch
stuff
of
and
stuff.
sell it, and if I make a profit, so
Just
be
sell
it.
it at cost.
Yeah, no, that's the fun.
It's
that's
a free
fine,
country.
But why would I want to do that if somebody else made it? Like, what's the point of that? That's silly.
Well,
Why?
Well, then don't sell hat pins if you think it's silly.
yeah,
Exactly.
That's what she spent, 5 minutes trying to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Cool.
that's like it's like I don't want to make money, Like I'm making some videos on me making sticks. I make sticks. What I mean by sticks, I collect sticks everywhere I go. Like when we were at
Maya's
that
actually
tree,
a tree, and
I'm an int.
Maya,
Sometimes-
Maya carved the spoon from a bigger spoon.
sometimes
Well, no,
she will grow branches that she has to trim. And
Yeah.
she
I-
makes
well-
sticks. that
She'll
way.
whittle a branch out of a larger branch.
well, yeah, kind of. Like I make walking sticks and staves and stuff, and I've made like some cosplay pieces and
Staves.
stuff. Staves and
Staves.
And then like I do leather work a little bit, right? So I'm gonna do like my own leather work on it and everything. And I'm gonna try to like hopefully when you guys have the ability to get a forge going and I can build a forge at your house or something. Oh boy, it's on. Like we gonna do some metal work, son.
You say
And
that like it's such a common thing.
it is.
It's more common
Backyard
out
forges
west.
are extremely common. Like
West
it's so
is-
easy. You can do so
West
much
is
with the backyard
DIY
forge.
culture, Chris. Get on board. Dial
Name
in.
one person you know with an outdoor forge.
Well, I know like 7, but that's me. But like it like that. But is that not fun? Is not it actually creating something yourself? Is that not more fun than just figuring out how to make money off something? Like really,
It
honestly,
can be.
It can be.
Yeah, I mean, making money, that's its own form of art.
Well, okay.
I don't
well,
think those
making-
two things are at odds necessarily.
Yeah.
But no, but
I think money's a very arbitrary construct.
can you make something with no point?
Yeah.
Can you bring yourself to make something for no reason other than to just figure it out and say you did it and enjoy the act of doing it?
That's what OCD is. Yeah.
Well, that's taking it to an extreme level on one point, but like, no, like that's what I do. I think 90% of the reason I've had the jobs I've had is because that looks like fun. Let's go do that.
Same here.
And
that's
that's
what
what I've
got me
done.
into truck driving.
Yeah, well,
And
that
that's why I
sounds
sell
fucking
weed.
awful. But like,
For the first few months, it was pretty awesome. You know, when I was just driving around 4 days a week and
like if it
getting
was
3-day
Mad
weekends.
Max truck driving, and you could just like when dumb people are doing dumb things around your big like multi-ton vehicle.
Oh, trust me, there are ways
Yeah.
to school some fools out in the middle. Of
Oh, I've
nowhere.
seen the videos; they're hilarious. But like, that's still like driving on the road, and the road pirates constantly trying to steal
So
from
you want to know one old truck driver trick?
What is that? Why is
So-
that Daniel San?
There are people out there who like to ride next to trucks, just sitting in the shadow because it's hot outside. So they want their car to be out of the sunlight.
That's
But
a
it's-
dick move.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, what truck drivers will do is they'll grab a bottle of water, just squirt it out the window.
Like they're getting peed on.
Or you don't know what it is, you know.
Well, that's interesting.
You
Is that
use night-
legal?
Probably not, but
Does it matter?
nah.
Well, it's like motorcycles.
Yeah,
It's like when
call
you're
a cop.
Yeah.
well, it's like when you're riding down the road in a motorcycle and somebody cuts you off or does something really dangerous on your motorcycle, and you happen to pull a piece of metal or something off the side of your bike or off your pants or your coat, and you say break their window or break their mirror off. Like, that might be considered illegal, but I think that's perfectly justified and fair. Like, I think you should throw like ball bearings at your window when people are doing that, because that's horrible. Why would you sit next to a semi? That's awful.
For
Awful.
something as stupid as just getting some shade, a lot of the times.
Why don't
that's-
you just
that's what it is.
go get some window tint and not have like
Or
a black
use
car?
the
because they're
blinders.
bitches.
Provided the visors.
Well, there's all kinds of aftermarket things you can put on your car. I guess you shouldn't spend all your money on a brand
It's
new car that
very-
didn't have everything you needed. Huh?
It's very common in desert climates where it gets exceptionally hot inside of car cabins, where people might own cars that have non-functioning AC units.
Well, then I guess they should move, because I lived out here for a number of years. I've actually lived out west longer than you two have, but
I was
that's fine.
born out
I was
west.
born
well,
west.
as an adult, sorry, in my adult
Give-
functioning life that I can
oh.
remember.
So the arbitrary cutoff of 18.
Yeah, adults are
Well, no,
so important.
When did you get into Indiana?
10.
10. Okay,
Yeah,
and
well,
then
9.5.
6.
you were 6, so you don't remember a damn thing before you got to Indiana.
No.
No.
What?
And-
I remember Washington.
Maybe
pretty
you
well.
got a shitty memory. But,
Yeah.
I don't remember anything before 28.
well,
so
that's
last year.
because you
But-
might have started drinking at the age of 28. Who knows?
Well, I stopped around 27. But no,
Oh, okay.
no, but like I lived out in Albuquerque, so a little bit more deserty than here. And if you didn't have AC, like there was plenty of people. You just adjusted to it. You didn't sit in traffic. You took different routes that were like, because my Mustang. I had a convertible Mustang, and the air conditioner did not work if you were sitting still. The car didn't generate enough power for everything else because it was a
Well, then
performance
the
car.
engine
Well, yeah,
overheats if you're idling and sitting still and running the air
You know
conditioner.
what it's like sitting in a 7 wide lane highway that turns down into 2 for 3 hours in
Yeah.
the middle of the like August sun in Albuquerque? Just bakes you alive. Fresh pavement too. That shit was
Well,
just black as black, and it was like, oh my god.
My truck had air conditioning. It was a really nice Kenworth.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. Well, those big spiffy trucks are nice, but
Yeah.
but the car sitting next to you, their car can't be it can't be that hot out while going down a road to be sitting next to a semi for the sun. It ain't gonna help that much.
It depends on how hot
I mean,
the sun
it's
is.
shade, but
Yeah.
it still seems
drive
like
faster.
the fucking
Well, I mean, if you're
dumbest thing in
picture
the world.
yourself. Let's assume you're a
forgot
very
what we were
selfish
talking about.
person for a moment.
I am.
If it's going to give you the most mild amount of comfort at somebody else's inconvenience, of course you're going to do it.
Why? I wouldn't. I'm the most selfish person I know. I care about nothing and no one but myself. And I would never think about sitting next to a semi for shade. That seems dumb. That seems like the worst
Well,
idea ever.
you're smarter than people who like to just sit next to semis.
But dumb people aren't selfish, or they wouldn't be dumb.
They can be selfish and just dumb. you know?
Yeah,
No.
some dumb people are just dumb.
Yeah.
No, it's not in your own best interest to be dumb, so you wouldn't stay dumb.
Point is, people assume
Not everyone
people
can
assume that
escape it.
truck drivers are these like precision drivers who are basically like F-16 pilots of the road, but there are some very dumb assholes. you
I
know?
lived next to a driving school, remember?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Probably the one I went to.
Yeah, those people
Yeah,
are dumb.
Roadmaster driver school was the one I went to.
That was terrifying. Those people hit everything. And then some of those people were the instructors driving, and they still hit everything, and that was just terrifying.
Yeah.
I tried to become a truck driver, and they wouldn't take me. I had too many speeding tickets.
Oh, speeding
And
tickets.
I
will
had
do it.
I had 12 felonies.
Well, all you got to do is let some of those mature, age, like fine wine a bit.
Oh yeah, they're all gone
Because,
now.
like-
The felonies are still there though.
Yeah, but
Well,
They're not mine, but because someone else used my name, they're still there on some records. So like my B&B records show up my felonies, but like real records, it's
Yeah.
like, the felonies are dumb. Why would you let a felon drive a truck?
I mean, a lot of times they do.
yeah, felonies
should.
don't really
Yeah.
disqualify you.
Yeah,
It
I
did.
mean,
It did.
it's-
Well, this was back in like 2007 before
Yeah.
things got shitty.
I mean, the thing is, the only thing I know of that'll truly disqualify
Eight,
you from
nine.
getting a CDL is having a recent DUI. And if it's more than 5 years old, then a lot of times you can still get your CDL and you'll still get insured. It's
Oh,
just, you got to
I-
jump through a lot of hoops and work for
I spent the
a
ma-
lower grade starter company.
Yeah, I jumped. I spent the majority. No, I spent all of my 20s not being hireable because I was uninsurable because of like my record. So like sometimes when you guys start talking about like normal jobs, like I'm gonna glaze over because like I've never been allowed to have a normal job because someone else fucked up. But like that's interesting. Like I couldn't imagine living under a world where you have to have like a CDL and a special license. Like I used to work around and with a lot of truck drivers,
Oh,
like
and
doing
they-
heavy load polls.
And they dangle that in front of you. The world is not kind to truck drivers.
You can lose it for anything. Holy
You can lose it
shit.
for sleep apnea.
anything.
So here's the thing: if they suspect, the trucking company or the DOT or whatever suspects that you have sleep apnea, you have to go get a sleep study to prove you don't have sleep apnea at your own expense. The insurance will not cover it, and that is a $3,000 sleep study.
Ouch.
And then on top of that, if you are diagnosed with sleep apnea, you are no longer cleared to drive.
Wow. Like at all?
Not until you get a CPAP machine.
Can you use a CPAP machine in a truck?
You can. There's
Yeah, you just need
There's
to
a-
plug it in.
yeah, you just need a power inverter.
But like, I mean, I get the idea of like, oh, you need to prove that you're medically fit and all this stuff. But like really, like I've seen,
Well,
I've
the Ruins-
I've known quite a few truck drivers.
The
And one of my
Ruins
old
City-
bosses,
yeah.
like he ran a truck. Like he now owns the trucking company his grandpa built years and years ago. He took it from I think 4 trucks to 15 trucks.
Well,
But some of those people, oh my God, they shouldn't be driving normal cars.
Yeah.
And those people have CDLs and like they're insured. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like the whole taxi system. Like I like it would be nice to see like an Uber alternative to the trucking industry and like the CDL licenses, like and like the
You
like
would
the whole badge system.
That
and everything.
would that'd be interesting.
That would be epic.
But
They're just taking 3 or 4 boxes in their Subaru.
You know what? Like, here's the thing with trucking. Like, trucking's kind of like it led to some unnecessary practices where we make shit halfway across the other side of the world and just keep shipping it and shipping it and shipping it and shipping it.
The real insidious thing about just trucking laws in general is they take all the liability off the trucking company and they put it on the truck driver. They make the truck driver vouch for everything. If things are wrong, the truck driver has to stand up to the trucking
Yeah.
company, and the trucking company can smash them if they go against what the company wants.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of
Corporations are people.
yeah, you're caught in between a rock and a hard place. You either follow the law or they assign you loads. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
Like there were
So
plenty of times where I stood by my morals and I said I'm not going to take an unsafe trailer on the road. And you know what they did?
What?
They said there's no other load to give you. Have a nice night.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's.
And
I've come across a couple of jobs like that where
and you know
I
what they do with the trailer?
What's
They don't fix it. They just find somebody else who will
they'll
take
take
the load.
it.
Yeah.
I've turned down quite a few jobs in my day because it's like there was once me and 2 other guys drove. We drove 700 miles in one stretch to go to this job. We get there and we look at these yahoos not doing anything at all safe, not wearing hard hats, working around. with people working at heights around them and stuff, not wearing safety harness, and they're like, all right, well, you guys ready to get to work? And we're like, you know what? No, we're actually just going to go back to our motel, and we're going to call our dude at, like, tradesman or whatever and be like, hey, can you find us a different job and, like, not send anybody here and, like, put these guys on, like, a do not do list? And, like, they and tradesmen, like, they'd have people they'd send out and do, like a surprise safety inspection. Go, you know what? This company here is a piece of shit. We're not going to send people anymore because they're very unsafe. And that was nice. But, like, that costs money. That costs time. And it's like, so wait, if you have morals and you care about your safety and other people's safety, you suffer and other people just keep going?
Yeah,
like
morals are for people who can afford them.
Until they just fucking die.
Huh?
Until they just fucking die, then because of their unsafe practices.
Yeah, but, like, that's the thing is that we're all stuck in a rock and hard place because you got to work, right? Yeah. Technically.
I mean, I rejected unsafe loads because
you got to do something.
Yeah,
do you?
Even if you're not getting paid or whatever you're talking about, you're just going to waste away otherwise.
No, not really. I could literally do not a single other thing for the rest of my life and not have to ever lift a finger to support myself at all. And so, I mean, technically it's possible, and I'm doing it. But why does it matter? Like, but here's in our current reality, most people assume they have to work, so they're willing to put themselves through some deviously nasty shit. But here's the flip side: is like there's companies like Uber, and there's Fiverr, and there's Fiverr, and there's all these other little platforms, and there's Etsy, and there's a million other little ways that you can make money and you can survive, and there's other ways of living.
You just had a few examples of how you couldn't make money off Etsy.
Well, I mean, I couldn't because I am not good at what I do and, like, marketing and everything else. I work better with a group of people. But the thing is that, like, you can make money off Etsy. You can make money as things you're good at and you care about if you want to. But there are also ways of doing a number of things by just living, not necessarily working, not signing contracts and paying taxes. And you don't have to do all that. And that's going to be my constant point I'm going to keep trying to make on this stupid like what I do in life. But
let's hope this show takes off.
Yeah. Well, for you guys, that might be great. For me, it's going to sounds like a lot of work. More stress, more people, more things, which would be wonderful because stress is life. That's what I've learned. The more stressed out I am, the more alive I am. Yeah, I'm going to die soon because my heart rate never slows down. But, like, that's cool. Like, living life to the absolute fullest. That's what I want to do. I don't want to work and I don't want to live. I want to live and just live. Like, there was once upon a time, and there's still societies, and not even societies, groups of people working together and surviving just fine, not living and working. There's no leisure/work time. It's just life. There's ways of doing that, and I'm content on making that better and better every day. But you know what? Somebody else start wrapping this up because we need to start wrapping this up.
All right, let's go to final thoughts. I always felt that was a good segment to end on, just to go to every single person and get some final thoughts from them.
All right, well, we'll start with you then, big man.
Start with me. All right, final thoughts. Yeah. Well, I really liked the smoke break we had today. I felt that, if you like this podcast, you should really check out the YouTube video because we had a lot of fun smoking together. And you should smoke with us while you watch it so that we could all smoke together,
Yeah.
We're trying to make this show about humanity and just spending time together.
You know what? Sometimes smoking alone just kind of sucks. You know what? I always get higher smoking. Sometimes you want to smoke with more people, so it doesn't suck, but it could be better.
Can suck.
Smoking
makes it better.
Sometimes you're in an illegal state and you don't have a lot of friends who smoke, and you can come to us to smoke with us.
Or all the friends you can smoke with are idiots, and you want to smoke with somebody that's not like.
Or your friends made the mistake of getting married and they can't smoke anymore.
What kind of friend? That's not a friend. That's an idiot.
Yeah, well, it happens a lot, and they quit smoking because of it.
Their lives have now gotten worse.
Yeah.
Why? Compromise. Okay, continue.
So if your friends are awful and they're getting married and not smoking weed, you could smoke weed with us whenever you want to tune into our smoke break. What about you, Chris?
Yeah.
Go watch the Adventure Time episode called James. It's towards the end of season 5. It's on Hulu, and it's commercial free, even if it's Hulu minus, because all their kids shows are commercial free.
Hulu minus, I
fact.
like that.
Yeah. So it's seriously some fucking House of Cards shit. It's fucked up. It's fucked with my head.
Yeah. You've been talking about it all night, and
Yeah.
I purposely was like, I didn't bring it up because I wanted to see if you'd bring it up, and you didn't, and you lost your chance.
Yeah, well, no,
No,
watch
he
it.
totally brought it up.
Well, I mean, we didn't get to really delve
Yeah.
into it.
No, we could
No.
delve into it
you know-
next week.
You know what? I'm gonna.
That could be we could all watch it. And we
I
can
need to.
discuss it next
I
week.
need to watch it. We'll talk about it possibly next week if we can remember that, because I could
Yeah.
smoke a lot between now and then.
Yeah.
No, I
Depends on
shouldn't.
how much we smoke, but we'll be able to see if we can revisit this topic.
I
Okay.
should have brought it up while the
no,
microphones
this is
were
perfect.
rolling. Because,
I haven't seen it, and neither is Maya.
Well, I would have gotten your initial reaction at telling you about it, but we can wait till next time to spoil it for people.
Well, or we can watch it
Everyone,
and during the
go
smoke
watch
break.
it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, right.
Go
Well,
watch it so we can talk about it next week.
exactly.
Mhm.
Well,
It's
wrapping up.
fucked up.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us.
What's your final thought?
My
Maya?
final thought is the I want everyone to keep listening to our stuff and like our content.
That's like wishing.
Do
for
you have a
more
board
wishes.
game you want us to try out for the audience? Or,
no, not
aspirations for the podcast? Or an
Like,
Etsy to promote?
Yeah, you're basically wishing for more wishes,
Yeah.
but
I-
it's like you're supposed to pick something interesting.
I always like to wish for more wishes, though.
But
That's the most
no,
logical
the whole
choice.
point is people want to know what your top 3 wishes would be.
If
So
I
what's
could
your
only
last
make 3
thought?
wishes, what would my wish be?
No, no,
So
no,
you
let's
guys make
say-
2. What's my wish? Then
Let's say you can make a million wishes, but your 3 most important ones are...
the
What is
ability.
your final thought? What do you want to leave these people with?
I want everyone to, I don't know, like smoke more weed.
Smoke weed
Like
every
that's
day.
basically like
No, that's good.
stop drinking beer, start smoking weed, stop taking prescription bullshit, start smoking weed.
Dude, those pills will make you want to kill yourself.
Yeah, I know. I know. The VA keeps giving me those. And they're like, here, I know this SSRI tried to make you kill yourself and you cut your arm 27 times. Now your arm looks stupid. But, and your plans for your tattoo sleeve are over. But, have some more of them. They're just different. Okay, no, fuck you, man. No.
So- Well,
So
and
the
even
moral
if
of
you
the
don't
story
wanna kill
is
yourself.
smoke Strawberry Nightmare.
Oh man, I feel so good right now. Even
Yeah.
after I saw that cop, I felt my heart rate just jump. Those road pirates just get my anxiety. I've been to so many protests and done so much cop walking. Those motherfuckers, they, woo. But that Strawberry Nightmare
Oh,
was
yeah.
a dream, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
You should check out Pineapple Fields if they got it.
Oh no, we thought about getting that, but that
Ooh, it's
I
my
don't
favorite
know.
tasting
I saw
strain
pineapple, and I was like,
that they make at that particular shop.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pineapple though. We got 2 strawberries, and I was like, oh, strawberries.
We'll try pineapple next time.
All right, guys. Oh man, my final
This is the
thoughts don't
Foreign
really.
and Domestic Podcast.
Foreign and Domestic Podcast. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are everywhere. We're not on YouTube specifically ourselves yet. You will have to find us at We're Libertarians on the YouTubes. For right now.
But we are literally everywhere.
Everywhere.
We're ethereal beings coming to you through the radio like Poltergeist or something.
Specifically in Denver.
White noise, I think.
If you're
the movie
listening to this
was.
through a really good sound system or earbuds, just imagine I am inside you right now.
Yeah.
Deep inside
Just
you.
listen to the
No, we
soothing
know when you're
sound
playing
of our
with yourself.
voices.
I mean, just so deep. Just let it happen.
Thank you for listening to the We're Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at We'reLibertarians.com.